Homeboy was just talking about the law of attraction. That shit is so real, man. Whatever we focus on, that's what we attract to our life. If we thinking about the right things come to our life. But when we negative, dwelling on the wrong shit, we just attract more of the wrong shit into our life. So, man, I really believe thoughts become things, for real. I believe in going where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate it, for real. Jesus couldn't even perform miracles in his hometown because they didn't believe in him. So sometimes you gotta go where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate it, so you can flourish. Too many times we ignore the people who adore us and adore the people who ignore us. We overlook and take for granted the people who see our gifts, the people who understand our uniqueness. Meanwhile, we trying to impress and please somebody who will never be impressed and pleased by you. Some people ain't gonna like you no matter what you do or don't do. And so I always say, man, go where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate it, for real. Somebody really want to do something, they'll find a way. And if they don't want to do something, they're going to find an excuse every single time, for real. You try to do something great in this world, you need energy. And having the wrong people around you will suck the energy and the life right out of you. And you want to reach your destination because you got this extra baggage with you. Trying to change somebody who don't want to change. You trying to inspire somebody who just refused to be inspired. Trying to motivate an uninspired, ungrateful person will kill you and drain your energy. The energy you need to run your race. For real, that's baggage, bro. You can't run this marathon in your journey with this extra baggage. They ain't gonna push you forward. They ain't gonna help you go forward. Only thing they gonna do is take. And the only thing you do is give. And you be drained. And you don't have no energy to run your race, for real. Time is one of the most valuable things we have. For real. You can tell how somebody value you by how they value your time. Shit, man, you can waste money, always make more money, but when you waste your time, it's gone forever, for sure. I learned, man, just get started. Don't overthink the shit, just get started. And don't think about building a wall. Lay one brick down, just take one step by step, and that's how you build something great, for real. And that's for everything, man. That's for the career, with a relationship, being a parent, anything, man. Just take the first step. And just take step by step, man. Don't think it to death. Don't wait till everything's perfect to make a move, but just get started, for real. Cast off is being who you are even when it's unpopular. When your thoughts and what you stand for is different in the crowd, and I'm a cast off. It ain't just something I wear. It ain't just something I say. It's a lifestyle. It's a mindset. It's a way of life. And so I started a clothing line to represent the cast-offs. Not even a clothing line. I just started pressing cast-off and the meaning on t-shirts and stood on the corner of Belmont Avenue and selling them. Selling them all day, going through hundreds, reordering, going through hundreds. And then I started posting people from my neighborhood wearing the shirts. And then people who was fans of my music start saying, oh, I want a cast-off shirt. I'm a cast-off. And then I set up a website. Now I'm shipping them to Missouri, shipping them to California, Chicago, all over the country. And now I realize I got a full-fledged business and call it Cast-Off Wear. Then I created the Southside edition. And it just took off. I really made that for my neighborhood, not knowing Chicago got a south side, Atlanta got a south side, and now I sell more out of town than I do in my hometown, for real. When we don't take self-accountability is the day we take ourselves off the hook. And we ain't even trying to change no more. We ain't even trying to do better because it's everybody else's fault. No matter what I do, I can't get it done because it's their fault. And that's that weak shit, man. That's how 80% of men think. But the moment all of us men hold ourselves self-accountable for our kids, for our communities, for who we are, is the day that we get better because it's nobody else's fault. It's all on us. And that's man shit to me. Michael Jordan couldn't blame the referees why he didn't beat the Pistons. What he had to do is he went in the weight room and got stronger. He ain't blame Horace Grant. He ain't blame Bill Cartwright. He ain't had no help. He got better. He worked harder. And so if he had to blame the referees or blame Bill Cartwright or Scottie Pippen or anybody else, he wouldn't have took the accountability to make himself better. The thing I learned, you can't change people. You cannot change people. You could change a person's environment. You could change a person's clothes. You could change their hair. You could change a person's bank account. But if that person hasn't made up their mind, they tired of thinking and being the way they are, and they don't change their mindset, they're going to be that same person in a different location, in a different relationship. So one thing I learned, man, you cannot change people for real. Don't let people talk you out of what God put in your heart, for sure. Our spirit know things. Our spirit know things that our mind just can't tell us, or it just don't make sense to us or anybody else, but our spirit know. Have you ever had that gut feeling you should do something and you don't do it, and you be like, damn, something told me? It's your spirit. That's that gut feeling. For real. And a lot of times we ignore that gut feeling because our own fucked up mind or our feelings, and our feelings change, but our spirit is always right. Our spirit is always true. And sometimes we overthink what our spirit tells us. For real. It's easy to blame, man. Once we blame, we take ourselves off the hook. And we don't have to think. And we don't have to actually do it because it's somebody else's fault. But the moment we take all self-responsibility and self-accountability, we'll find new ways to get it done. We'll think harder. We'll work harder. You know, we'll strategize a little better. But the moment we blame somebody, we ain't got time to strategize because it's their fault. And there's no reason to strategize. There's no reason to go harder. There's no reason to think a little better because it's their fault. And it can't be done because they stopping it from being done. For real. I just say get started. Get started. Not waiting for the right amount of money or waiting for the approval of people. I have no support and all the goofy shit. Just get started. Because when you don't get started, only thing you're doing is procrastinating. That's all you're doing is procrastinating and overthinking. And overthinking is a thief. Overthinking is a thief that kill all our dreams, kill all our destiny. For real. Man, motherfuckers don't be too busy, man. It's just about priorities. If it's something they want to do, they'll make time for it. If it's something they don't want to do, they're not going to make time for it, and then they too busy, for real. Most people take your kindness for a weakness. And one thing I learned, man, when a person is ungrateful and entitled, no matter what you do for them, it will never be enough. They will never be grateful. They just think you should do more. And they ain't going to appreciate the shit you do for them. For real. They don't look at it like, man, that's a good dude, man. I appreciate him. He is a blessing. They look at it like, man, this nigga dumb. This nigga sweet. I'm just get more. That's how people look at it. They take your kindness for a weakness. And then you can't make sense to them. Because one thing I learned, man, you cannot make sense to a stupid motherfucker who had no sense. It's a waste of time. You might as well hold your breath. For real. True love, true unconditional love, agape love. That's when you love somebody no matter what. Ain't nothing you could do or not do to make your mama stop loving you. That's unconditional agape love. And so when you talk about you love a person because it is, they did that for you, or they look out for you, or they make you feel that way, man, that ain't real love, because the moment they stop doing that or they make you feel different, you don't love them no more. You never loved them. True love is unconditional. Loving beyond the conditions, for real. To do anything worthwhile, it take a lot of energy. It take a lot of energy to run your race, and especially to complete your race. And some people come around just to drain your energy. For real. They not going to add on. They going to be distractions. And you got to be so focused to get what you want to get. It takes a lot of focus, and some people are distraction. They take your focus away. They take all your energy away. Only thing they want to do is start quarrels, and now you're going back and forth. Why you going back and forth? You're not discussing ideas because you're trying to prove a point to a stupid motherfucker, and you can't make sense to a stupid person who have no fucking sense. So what I say is, man, while you're on your race, keep your energy, protect your energy, man. Keep those energy drains out of your life, for real. Richest place in the world is the graveyard. Buried in them graves is $1 trillion ideas. Ideas that could have changed the world, could have uplifted people, could have cured anything. But guess what? A person just left it as a thought and never took action. And just died with their treasure. Don't die with your treasure in you, for real. Sometimes we need to humble ourselves and not always saying what we will or won't do when we're in somebody else's situation. And we never been through that situation, for real. Because what happens is the universe will put us through that same situation just to test us, to let us know what we will do or what we won't do in a certain situation. And that shit is to humble us, for real, so we won't be so judgmental and arrogant. That shit humble us when we go through certain situations that we didn't even have to go through if we had just humbled ourselves, for real. Time is one of the most valuable things we have, for real. You could tell how somebody value you by how they value your time. Shit, man, you could waste money, always make more money, but when you waste your time, it's gone forever, for sure. One thing I learned, sometimes you gotta tell people no, for real. You gotta protect your own self. You gotta protect your own mind, your own sanity, and your own peace. And people will use you up every time for their own benefit. But it's our fault. It's your fault. If you're afraid to tell somebody no, you sacrifice your peace, your happiness, your time, your money, and somebody use you up till you are used all the way up, and then they gone, and now you bitter at them when you could have just said no from the start. I ain't saying being selfish, but sometimes you gotta say no and do what's best for you, your peace, your spirit, and your own well-being, for real. I learned some shit ain't personal what people do. When a bee sting you, he don't know you, he don't dislike you. He a bee, and that's what he do, he stings shit. And so that person who do fuck shit, make up lies about you, gossip on you and everything like that, that don't mean they just dislike you. That's what they do. They a gossiping motherfucker. You talk all that come together black people bullshit. You can't even come together with your friends. You can't even come together with your friends and your family, people you know and actually love. How the fuck is you gonna come together with a complete stranger, with a complete different background from a whole different place? You can't even come together with the people you love because you too busy hating on them and competing with them, for real. He good at something, you good at something. Instead of you helping him and he helping you do y'all real gifts and make something big of it, you want to do the exact same thing he do. That ain't even your gift. You want to do his gift because he making a little more money than you. He getting a little more props from you. So now what you do, you compete with him. And you can say it ain't competition, but if y'all providing the same service to the same group of people, y'all in competition. Now how the fuck is you gonna come together with strangers? You can't even come together with your friends because you hating to compete with them, for sure. My advice to anybody, my advice to my son, my advice to a friend, my advice to anybody is be who you are even when it's unpopular. If I die right now, I hope that's the mark that I left on this world. I want to preach following God, follow your heart, follow what's in your spirit and not what's cool, popular, or true. And I hope that's the mark I left on the world. Like, follow that inner gut, follow what makes, what brings peace to you, not what everybody else thinks. So that's what I look for.